Welcome to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where the voices of a small town meet the headlines shaping our world from the front porches and fields of Cedar Valley. We bring you reflections, stories, and questions that matter, connecting real lives to real events for faith and community. Walk hand in hand with today's headlines. This is a Cedar Valley News, sponsored by Readers and Writers Book Club.
Greeting. This is Dan Larson, and I'll be your host for this Quiet Echo episode, Faith in the Storm. Sometimes the news feels too heavy to hold. This week, that weight came from the western coast of Alaska, where entire villages, like Kipnuk and Kwigillingok, are being evacuated by small planes and helicopters. The wind and water took nearly everything. Homes, food stores, the tools of daily life all gone. What remains are stories carried in the hearts of the people who survived. When I first heard the reports, I thought about the difference between losing something and being uprooted. Losing something hurts, but being uprooted, that reaches deeper. It shakes your sense of belonging. It leaves you asking, where do I go now? Faith, I think, begins in that question. It doesn't shield us from the storm, it walks beside us when the storm is all we can see. This morning, I sat on the porch before sunrise. It was eerily calm, the kind of stillness that humbles you. I watched the sky lighten over the valley, and I thought of the families from those coastal villages, elders who've read the river currents their whole lives, children who know the taste of sea air before they know the word for it. They've built their lives on the rhythm of tides, and now the tides have taken back what they once gave. Still, I believe they'll rebuild. Not just their homes, but their sense of community. They've done it before. They've lived through winters that would break most of us. They'll find new ground, and they'll make it sacred by living on it. Faith has always been easier to talk about than to live. We like the kind that feels safe, the kind that doesn't ask too much of us. But the faith that changes us is rarely comfortable. It's the kind born when comfort disappears. The Apostle Paul once wrote, "Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." Those words aren't poetic, they're practical. When our neighbors in Alaska lose everything, our prayers should come with open hands. Faith is a verb, not a possession. It moves, it gives, it rebuilds. I keep thinking about a story from years ago, an elder from the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta who said, "When the land moves, the people move with it. We don't fight it, we follow it." That line stays with me. Maybe that's what faith really is, learning how to move with what life brings, not against it. Here in Cedar Valley, the world feels steady most days. But storms have a way of showing up, different storms, quieter ones. Division, loneliness, fear. They flood the spirit instead of the streets. And just like those families now landing in Anchorage with only what they can carry, we find ourselves stripped down to what matters: our faith, our compassion, our willingness to care. If you're listening tonight, take a moment to think about what you'd want someone to do if you were the one being airlifted from your home. Think about the faces of the people in those small planes, the mothers holding their children, the elders looking out the window, the pilots flying through wind that wants to turn them back. Then ask yourself, what can I give? What can I do? Faith isn't measured in words or promises. It's measured in the quiet acts of love that keep the world from unraveling. From my front porch in Cedar Valley, I'm thinking of the people of Kipnuk and Kwigillingok. Their courage humbles me. Their faith restores mine. And their story reminds us all that peace doesn't come from calm seas, it comes from standing together when the waters rise. I'm Dan Larson. This is Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News, sponsored by Readers and Writers Book Club.